And this is Producer Blue with you on the Eliances Heroes radio show here at the incredible Dash Dream Studio. Make sure you go check out Eliances.com, nominate your hero, and also where do you want our roundtables to show up? Because you know we are going national, so make sure you get in on that. Well, next with us, he is a trend spotter, early adopter, world traveler, and social connector. I'm sure there's many more words I could put after that as well that are phenomenal. But we have with us James Kern. He is the founder of XISM. Make sure you check out XISM.net, but do that after you listen to this interview. So James, super excited to have you in studio with us today.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yes. So what does XISM do?
So XISM is an acronym. It stands for Experiential Intelligence, Solutions, and Metrics. And what we do is all around experiential marketing and brand experience innovation. So we work with a lot of big brands, small brands, startup brands, and now really increasingly with some more impact-oriented brands to create a brand experience around the name and the culture and the lifestyle of the brand for the consumers, for the employees, for the partners, for the community that they impact. In today's culture, brands really equate to the sum total of experiences that people have around a brand, right? So if you just take any consumer brand out there, the things that people are talking about, the packaging, the logo design, the colors, the support line that you call, the instruction manual, all of these things are contributing to the experiences you have around a product and the parent brand. And so we look at a very holistic approach to brands, and we help brands analyze where they are doing really well, and also use metrics and data to look at where they might have room for improvement. And then we programmatically work with them to design strategies and implement strategies that help them be better experiences overall as a brand for their consumers, their employees, their shareholders, and everybody related to the ecosystem of a brand.
Okay, and that is a really interesting concept. Something that I hadn't heard of really before is that experiential marketing, right? How did you come up with that? That seems revolutionary, but it makes sense.
Sure. So the whole field of experiential marketing has been exploding. It's been really interesting. There's been traditional advertising for many, many years. We've had from the days of soapbox and soap operas into commercial as we know it, and music videos or sort of commercial forms for albums and that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden we had the advent of digital. Digital marketing just exploded, right? And we started seeing money moving from traditional advertising more into the digital platform. And then there was this things around events and experiences and sponsorships. And what brands started noticing was that the one-on-one live experience with any constituent around their brand community tends to have a broader or more deep impact. A more memorable moment is created when you have a live experience. And so there became this emerging practice around creating experiences for brands. And that was experiential marketing. And that's really taken off over the last decade or so. And you're even seeing money now move from digital into experiential. These budgets are being reallocated where the greatest impact and the greatest use of these dollars are. And so I was fortunate to sort of be at the advent of this industry, coming from a filmmaking background, and I was making music videos, which essentially are commercials for albums,
right? And
started really looking at what these experiences were about. At the time, I was doing some nightclub promotion and having these live experiences, these theatrical moments, and that sort of thing.
Okay, when do you sleep, James?
Rarely. Barnett will tell you, not so much. So we do all kinds of things, but what I realized is in our current iteration of what XISM is doing in the solutions and metrics piece, is that there has been, from a business point of view, from an investor point of view, or from a marketer's point of view, when you're investing dollars programmatically, how do you determine return on investment, ROI? And in experiential, there's been a big void. How do you measure the impact of attending an event? And so we've really started to innovate using technology and engagement technologies, cell phone scanning technology to see where people are walking around in a trade show. We kind of heat map certain zones, and we have these methodologies that are technology enabled to collect data and information that then we can make inferences into how people are engaging and what that value is for the attendee, and therefore for the brand marketer and the brand as a whole. And then you cross-reference that with what people are expressing in social media, what they're posting. We do some survey results. We get some direct qualitative feedback from individuals, and we put that all together in kind of a big algorithm and say, these things are working better than those things. So let's turn up the dial on the things that are working, and let's turn down the spend on things that aren't.
Absolutely. And Eliances is a brand that we would like you to get to know. Make sure you listen to us on Dash Radio. We're at the incredible Dream Hotel. You're listening to me, Glue, your producer today, your host with the Eliances Heroes Radio Show. And make sure you go to Eliances.com and listen to our interview, like for example, the one we did with the co-founder of Oculus VR. And you might be able to meet him at one of our upcoming brand tables. So make sure that you go check out Eliances.com, listen to all of our interviews, and get involved. So James, I see you have worked with Microsoft and Salesforce and so many other incredible companies. How exactly do you help your clients? Maybe how did you help Salesforce? What did you do for them?
Sure. So I was very fortunate to be selected to be the overall creative director for their user conference in San Francisco known as Dreamforce.
Right, Dreamforce. Yeah,
it's
huge.
It's one of the biggest single branded sponsored events in the world. It's somewhere between 60 and 100,000 attendees, depending on who you ask, right, and what the PR spin might be. But in general, it's upwards of 60,000 people for 4 days, taking over the entire downtown area of San Francisco, and it's just a phenomenal event, and a tech marketing hub, a consumer engagement experience. And so I was fortunate to get to design a lot of the event around the city, and boy, did I learn a lot. There's various communities around that, right? So there are the users, there are the programmers and developers, there are the executives who invest in that platform for all of their companies, and they have a special executive summit for that. So I've got to talk to a lot of different audiences, and that really was some of the seed and the genesis of the thinking around the various points of view and how impactful are we being with our marketing dollars, and how do we create experiences that really do resonate and create impact in terms of moving the needle on objectives for the company, all the while ideally creating good for the community.
Absolutely. And let's talk a little bit about how you work with Garnett, and also I understand you work with Innovation Fair with Kadima Ventures.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So with Garnett Harriman here, one of the founders of Fuel LA, we really are looking at the beginning of impact brand. So I'm a LA native, and we're focused on really making an impact in Los Angeles. And as Garnett mentioned, we've got some friends that are education leaders and political leaders and community leaders that have had their life's work in Los Angeles has been to better the community and the population's experience, really, here. And so when we start looking at designing organizations and ventures that can have an impact, and as you probably well know, today, impact venture is a really big deal, right? Creating businesses that are self-sustainable, potentially profitable, that are focused on doing good, right? So we can do well and do good at the same time.
And stay in the community.
And stay local, right? No brain drain, no financial drain, or minimize. I can't say no, because people need to be free to do what they need to do. But if we can make it inspiring for them to remain at home and create ongoing flourishing environments where they see the impact they're having and the betterment they're having on their neighbors and on their nephews and nieces, and really trying to sow the seeds for a better future right at home, very locally, and ideally very sustainably as well. Right?
Absolutely. So Laura, do you want to chime in on that a little bit?
I just think that building a community that focuses on local, whether it's local food, farm to table, local, you were talking about the growing wine, growing like grapes and making wine in the community. Those are such great things to encourage sustainability. offsets the carbon footprint. You're not traveling all over the world. You're not spending fossil fuels, unnecessarily to bring things from very far away places. You're keeping it right in there. And so I think that's a really, really great thing.
So Garnett, tell me how you and James got to be working together.
And I want to make a quick comment to the
Oh,
to
absolutely.
the end.
Yes, please.
Being here with James and Laura and having this kind of expansive dialogue is actually got me thinking about one thing. Leadership itself is an experience. And if you create the right kind of leadership experience, you should be able to pass that on to the community. Whether it's Bert Lux or whether it's developing a walkable community by real estate and other investments, leadership itself is actually, and this is something I should have caught on earlier, because we were lucky to meet someone with that kind of public service commitment as Larry Franks, and we were lucky to meet Effie. And so yeah, this is interesting. Leadership is an experience actually. So back to your question. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So tell me how you got to be working with XISM.
And you mentioned Kadima earlier.
Yeah, and Kadima as well, and Peter.
Kadima Innovation Fair ended up being a real seminal meeting of the minds for pretty much everyone that was involved with James and I being lucky enough to be on this wonderful show today. Through the Kadima Innovation Fair, James produced it. It was a wildly successful event, and I was lucky enough to be a friend of his, and he asked me to do certain things on stage that were totally legal and reasonably affordable.
It's so kind of funny the way that you put that up. I heard there was a robot.
At least one.
And then through that I met Tim, and through that I met Peter. Peter was kind enough to nominate us for today, so it was all around this innovation event, and that has turned out to be a real key moment for a lot of us actually. So it was mostly around that event.
Wonderful, creating synergies within business. That's incredible. So what does the future hold for you, James, and XISM?
Well, we're
What's next?
Really excited to work with Tim Wales and the Kadima Ventures Group to do the next iteration of the Kadima Innovation Fair coming up in Phoenix in September. A little shameless plug for Kadima, the good guys over there.
That's okay.
And working with Peter Eliances, he's collaborating with us and leading in some of the Fuel LA initiative.
Good cross-pollination there.
Yeah. So it's a combination of real estate investment, technology innovation, startup culture, and what we really hope to do is bring the experience of the leadership, as Garnett was so adeptly noting, into these underserved communities with business leaders that are very diverse, different national origins of their families.
We should talk about that team. The team is really diverse.
They're very, very diverse. I mean, Peter's a Greek American. Garnett, you tell about your
I'm
background.
not even sure where I'm from anymore. Indian by way of the Caribbean, so Indo-Caribbean. How about that?
Right, and one of our co-founders is a Costa Rican woman, a highly educated community servant who's helping us come into the Latin community with a tremendous amount of authenticity, as well as another personal immigrant story that is a success story here in Los Angeles through UCLA and USC. And then me, the lifelong kind of blondie guy from Santa Monica Surfer dude, but I'm an LA native and have a lot of passion and pride around being a contributor to this community. And so we've got a really wonderful, diverse group, both in our backgrounds, but also in our skill sets. A very complementary, not a tremendous amount of crossover, but a tremendous amount of appreciation for each other's abilities.
That's awesome. And we've got about a minute left, but I want to ask you, how can students find their own breakthrough moment? Because I know that's something that you are big on, that breakthrough moment with your clients. How can they find that to be successful as you are?
Boy, that's interesting. We always talk about follow your passion, follow your interests. I think that's a huge one. I think staying motivated is challenging. I think following opportunity and finding your passion and your opportunity to find your favorite elements within opportunities that may seem unrelated. I've been very fortunate. I love sports and music. Through the automotive industry, I've had more access to professional sports and high-end musical talent, and I didn't think that, marketing cars was going to get me there, but I've had so much fun doing that, and so you can wiggle your way around to the things that you love through strange openings, strange doors, right?
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Wiggling your way through opportunities like we did with you in this interview. James, you help your clients cultivate their breakthrough moments. You're a hero, James Kern, founder, XISM. Make sure you check out XISM.net. I hope I was saying .net the whole time.
I think you were.
Okay, good, because I just caught myself
Thank you
for
so
a
much.
second there.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you all for joining me on the show
Thank you.
today. It's been incredible. And make sure you go to Eliances.com, the only place where entrepreneurs align. Check us out. Tell us where you want to see us go next and who we should interview. Nominate your hero. Because this has been me, Glue, producer, today your host of the Eliances Heroes Radio Show on Dash Radio from the incredible Dream Hotel studio.
Thank you, Glue.
Thank you.